Welcome to Fantasia, home of the Melodious. My name's Azallea, and today, gonna be bringing you guys another post-duel commentary. Now this time, gonna be playing with my Shaddoll Magician Girl deck. So, looking at this opening hand, it's not really the best, but it's alright because I'm Berry Magician Girl actually. So I normal summon her, and I'm definitely going to search for the Chocolate Magician Girl because she will allow me to draw through my deck and get rid of some of these useless monsters in my hand like Shaddoll Beast and Apple Magician Girl. So I can potentially see better cards. Now, I don't really like opening with the Shaddoll monsters because of the fact that you want to see your Shaddoll fusion so you can send them from your deck to the graveyard if your opponent controls an extra deck monster. But it's not the worst because if your opponent's not playing an extra deck based deck like my opponent is right now, he's playing the Fire Kings, normal summoning the Fire King avatar Yaksha. Now, Fire Kings, because they don't rely so much on the extra deck, Shaddoll Fusion's kind of weak, and this deck doesn't really get to snowball advantage like it would against someone that does play out of their extra deck a lot. But here my opponent attacks with his Yaksha into my Berry Magician Girl, and now that I know I'm against Fire Kings, I summon the Kiwi Magician Girl from my deck because when she's face up on the field, she protects all of my spellcaster type monsters by destruction by card effect and by targeting effects, which is obviously really nice because Garunix can't just nuke my field now. There is the possibility of my opponent just attacking with Yaksha into the Kiwi Magician Girl, but if I were him, I definitely would have attacked the Berry Magician Girl as well, because one, he doesn't have the Garunix set up, so there's no worry about that protection that I have on my side of the field, plus Kiwi's 1800, so it's not like I was going to crash into his Yaksha in any way. But there's no way for him to know that I actually have the Moon Mirror Shield, which allows me to always have 100 attack higher than the monster that I'm battling, which is really nice because that allows my Kiwi to attack over the Yaksha. And the reason why Yaksha would definitely, I thought that he would definitely attack into my Berry Magician Girl is because of the fact that my opponents usually feel threatened when you have a Magician Girl monster that can summon from, the graveyard, the hand, or from the deck. So, of course, things like Berry and Chocolate Magician Girl are going to be very high priorities for my opponent to get rid of. And Kiwi Magician Girl, he could have obviously just crashed next turn with his Yaksha because I really had no answer to the Yaksha if I didn't have that Moon Mirror Shield. Aside from that Shaddoll Dragon in my hand, of course, but he doesn't really know what variant of this deck that I'm playing. So I set the Solemn Strike and I end my turn, and he top decks into a Fire King Island, which is very, very good for him because it allows him to go for searches, like for the Fire King High Avatar Garunix. Now, he did destroy that Ice Hand in his hand, so that telegraphs to me he doesn't have any other really useful Fire King monsters in his hand for him to use. And it also showed me that, yes, he's playing Fire and Ice Hand, so, I gotta be careful when I'm attacking. Not so much for the Fire Hand, but for the Ice Hand, because Fire Hand can't destroy anything of mine on the field because they're all protected by Kiwi. But if it was Ice Hand, he could destroy my back row and start floating and stuff like that, so I definitely have to use a strike on that. But in this case, I didn't really have to worry because my opponent was playing, or he set the Fire King Avatar Garunix, and now this will allow him to summon a Fire King Avatar monster straight from his deck, and I really don't want that because then they could just start snowball into floats and everything like that, and I don't want to deal with that stuff. Especially if he summons Yaksha and I attack Yaksha, and then Yaksha gets to destroy the Garunix in his hand, then he has Garunix in circulation, and it's a 2700 attack beat stick. So strike that and I just attack directly. Then I use Chocolate Magician Girl's effect during the main phase to draw an additional card. This was just to play around strike just in case because I'm not really sure what back row he has, and I didn't want to lose my Chocolate Magician Girl before the battle phase just so I could get that 1600 damage in to get my value out of her before she could potentially get destroyed. Now, here my opponent uses the Fire King Island, destroys the Garunix in his hand, and is probably going to go for a search. Yeah, there we go. He searches for the Fire King Avatar Yaksha. Yaksha, here we go again, right? But he actually surprised me. I thought I was going to summon the Yaksha, but he summons the Fire King Avatar Ganesha, and Ganesha is a new Fire King card that was released very much like all the older archetypes are getting support, like the Mermails and things like that. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you get to see me play against those decks. But yeah, Fire Kings, this card is really good because of the fact that he could just negate any monster effect, and if he does, he could destroy a fire monster that he controls or that's in his hand. So here he attacks my Chocolate Magician Girl, expecting the attack to go through after negating my effect, but I did have that Kiwi Magician Girl in my hand as backup, so that was really good. Even though I couldn't get the revival out, I still felt that this was a pretty good play on my part because it brought Kiwi's attack up, brought Chocolate's Magician Girl's attack up, and even if Ganesha could float into something like the Big Garunix, Big Garunix cannot attack over the Chocolate Magician Girl, even though he could still swing over the Shaddoll Dragon. Now here, I don't know what my opponent did. He summoned back the Fire King Avatar Garunix, the baby one, not the big one. If he summoned back the big one, it would have probably been better, I think, because he still would have been destroyed during the end phase, so he could still come back during my standby phase. But yeah, he would have just been able to get some damage in and attack over the Shaddoll Dragon. But here, I used my Chocolate Magician Girl's effect because I know his back row is probably nothing because he didn't do anything with it last turn. So I discard the Apple Magician Girl and get another draw, and I draw into the Magical Dimension, and that's a pretty good card. Even though it does destroy, it doesn't target, which is really nice. And the reason why I'm saying destruction is kind of bad in this matchup is because Fire Kings just plus off of all their destruction. They want things to be destroyed. But in this case, I summon the Tornado Dragon, actually overlay with the Chocolate Magician Girl and the Shaddoll Dragon, go for the Tornado Dragon, just see what his back row is. The reason why I'm not too worried about making XYZ here is because he has his Fire King Island up on the field, and if Fire King Island is destroyed or banished when it's on my opponent's side of the field, it will destroy all monsters that he currently controls, and so that's going to be really good. I basically have an on-demand Raigeki on my opponent's turn, just turning their own cards against them. But here, taking advantage of that Moon Mirror Shield and destroying that Garunix, Garunix is going to summon a baby Garunix from his deck, and if I destroy the baby Garunix, he's just going to summon more. So just left it on its side of the field. Even if he destroys it with Fire King Island, he won't be able to float off of it, so that's the most important part. But yeah, anyway, my opponent goes for the Fire King Island and tries to go for another search by destroying one of his cards. I'm saying, nah, let's not do that. Don't want him to continuously get advantage from field spells like this. You want to get rid of them as soon as possible. But I waited until my opponent's turn because Fire King Island, as you see, nuked my opponent's field, and because Baby Garunix only gets its effect if I do something to it, yeah, his Fire King Island destroying it means it can't float. Now here my opponent normal summons the Fire Hand after summoning the Yaksha from his hand after I destroyed his baby Garunix, and then he overlays. I thought he was going to go for a Lightning, but he went for number 59, Crooked Cook. Or Crooked Cook, sorry, my bad. But yeah, 2300 beat stick that's unaffected by other card effects, so that's pretty good. He attacks to my Tornado Dragon, and that's all fine and dandy, because my Kiwi Magician Girl can just attack over it next turn because of that Moon Mirror Shield. Again, just coming in clutch, definitely going to be bumping this up, probably to 2, just to see it a little more often, but I probably don't want to see multiples in my hand. But yeah. Top deck into the Foolish Burial, and now I know that I can attack over my opponent's monster with the Moon Mirror Shield, so I send the Shaddoll Hedgehog because I want another monster on the field, and Shaddoll Hedgehog will allow me to search for the Shaddoll Dragon, and that should be enough damage to swing for a game unless my opponent has some shenanigan hand trap that's gonna block me from doing damage. But yeah, attack into the Crooked Cook, oh, I can't say that name, and then attack with the Shaddoll Dragon, 1900 damage to finish things off. So yeah, that does it for this game. Now I know this duel wasn't too interactive or interesting, or I guess high level play, mostly because of the fact that Magician Girls can't really handle much outside of these very casual decks and builds. So yeah, forgive me for that, but it's the only way I can really demonstrate this deck in action. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please leave a like, subscribe for more Magician Girl content, and leave a comment down below letting me know what I can do to improve. And until next time, take care.